Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the empty bowl himself. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
I think I like the first one better.
No. You're not in the instruction booklet anymore. You're an empty bowl of cereal.
We've not mentioned anything else. There were no technical difficulties. Move on.
No, exactly. Do not destroy the illusion of a perfect show.
Yes, the illusion that we create every week, that we know what we're doing.
Yes, perfect. One of the longest running Transformers podcasts.
Yes, how? I was thinking that today. How are we one of the longest? How are we probably the longest continuously running?
Dedication.
I was just
or
thinking,
having nothing to do.
Between real life and everything else, we were like 2 shows behind on general stuff, I think.
Are we?
Yeah, like we're behind a comic show. And
sorry. I thought you meant on the weekly show.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, totally right.
Just because of real life and shit like that.
Yeah, podcast writers, podcast falls. Moonbase 2 keeps going, for better or for worse. But we're here to talk this week about Transformers, as usual, Mr. Mikey. So I guess we may as well get the ball rolling with what I would consider crappy news. Do you consider this crappy?
I don't think the concept is fundamentally crappy.
No, but it's
going
another
to
one of the
be crappy. It's going to be crappy.
Yeah, it's a pop vinyl basically in a sense.
Yeah.
It's the Jada die-cast 4-inch G1 Megatron figure reveal. But it's only a figure reveal. We don't actually have a product reveal. So what's the difference before I actually talk about the product? It's basically a design concept sketch.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So, it's following the release of the G1 Optimus Prime and Bumblebee last year, which I don't remember talking about. Do you?
No, not a bit.
Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But Jada is set to release a Megatron now to make the third figure in their line. It's going to be priced at €20, apparently. So this is Mikey's problem more so than anything else. The toy is 4 inches tall in height and features lighter bars, because of course it does. Much like the Optimus Prime, the Megatron also comes with a weapon. In this case, it's a fusion weapon, and an energy weapon, which is obviously his axe.
Yes.
If you're wondering on his batteries...
Wait, what? His axe?
Oh, no, his mace.
Hang on.
I may have said the wrong one there. Never mind. In terms of batteries, he requires 3 1.5V V-LR44 batteries, cell batteries. And I'm sure if you're a battery nerd, you know what those are. To me, that is just gobbledygook.
I'd love the idea of a battery nerd.
I bet
sure
there's
they're
one.
real, but...
Oh, yeah. There's like someone who's like, no. You don't want those ones. Even if it tells you to get those ones, you want the other kind. Because they're way better. They last longer, they don't leak, etc., etc., etc. I don't know what those are. They're just batteries to my eyes. But hey, Mikey, what do you think of this design sketch? As we'll call it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not... Okay, so it does look like Megatron with like really teeny... Like it kind of looks like the new Jet Jaguar design from Singular Point with the kind of normal-ish torso and teeny tiny legs. Which is something I find very endearing about that Jet Jaguar, because it's Jet Jaguar and he's fundamentally ridiculous. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things, like, I think if it was a nicer design, I'd be way more into it.
Okay.
Because, like, I accept the fact that, like, okay, we're doing a little statuette. Doesn't do anything, it's just a nice little display piece, right? But this just doesn't look like a nice design. Like, it's not an SD design. It's like a regular size Megatron on someone else's hips.
Yeah, it is like... It's like mildly super deformed. Like all of it's mildly super deformed, but like you say, it's the legs are like from chest to waist, it goes into like a triangle-esque shape.
Yeah.
As he like gets smaller and smaller the further down you go, which is odd.
I mean, it might be one of those things where it looks better in person, but
sure, yeah.
I mean, maybe one of those things like I was in a shop and I saw it, I'd be a lot more interested. Like, I think that would kind of be like, I'm out shopping for Christmas or something like that. I'm just minding my own business. Oh, I see this on the shelf and I've got a bit of extra Christmas money.
£20 though? I don't know.
I could say like a random-esque purchase, you know? Like,
okay.
Remember, €20 is like £5. No, it's not. But so like, obviously, like I would also be like, oh, it's down, or like it's half price. That would be a perfect buy. Because like the second you see half price, everything becomes perfect buy, even if that half price is still ridiculous. I'm really concerned those accessories will not look good because looking at this toy, I can't think of a way of angling that mace so it looks good.
No, I'm not sure whereabouts it's meant to go.
Because like it's curled up and it's probably going to be molded that way.
Is it meant to be like hanging down? Is that the idea?
Maybe you take off the right hand and it's supposed to be like it's mid-swing, but his arm's in like a really weird position for that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not in love.
Again,
I'm not in love, basically.
Like you say, in reality, it might look a little bit different or better, but yeah. Yeah, there's something about it which I don't think looks amazing. Also, says you got to be 8 or up to own it.
Well, listen, I am perfectly qualified. However, my niece is not. However...
Yes?
I do not conform to either gender or age-related stereotypes. I will buy her toys that are rated too old for her. So that she can learn that love hurts.
You're so progressive, Mikey. I appreciate that.
Every time she hurts herself with something she was too young to handle is a time she learns not to handle it when she's older.
That's a fair point. You know, pain gets experience.
Hold this knife. Which way around? You decide.
What happens is your own fault.
You're 3 years old now. Get out. Get a job. Make your own decisions.
That's right. You need to get to become a welder at the age of 10, Mikey.
The thing is, around here, that's not uncommon. Like,
oh, really?
I need her to be a welder now.
Oh, okay.
Get her a teeny tiny mask.
I don't think you want to do it now, just on the basis that from what you've told me, she might decide to weld. Well, I was going to say the hinges on the door so you can't leave, but you might work as well.
Yes. How do I put this? She's learned. She's a bit too independent to be safe with anything. Like she has a mind of her own, and unfortunately, she knows it.
Oh no!
Now she's currently bribing them into potty training her. What
do you mean bribing them?
Well, they said we could give you something if you use the potty, and she said, "I want buttons." Okay, we give you toy buttons. I want chocolate buttons. Okay, we give you 1 chocolate button. I want 5 chocolate buttons. I'm not giving you 5 chocolate buttons. I take 3 chocolate buttons.
Oh my god.
This went on for half an hour. She won.
Hang on, have you bought her the rules of acquisition, Mikey?
No, but DS9 is in her future. But,
it should be, correct.
But
yes.
She basically she decided on 3. She did the thing, aim high, settle middle.
Yes. Yeah, totally.
Because they couldn't get her below 3. So,
so
now every time my niece takes a wee, she gets 3 chocolate buttons.
That's quite a lot of chocolate buttons for a young kid.
Apparently she tried 17 times yesterday.
What, to pee?
To pee.
My god. At least she doesn't know about drinking excessive amounts of water yet.
No, oh god.
Jesus.
I might tell
her.
Coming. I might tell her.
Jesus, Mikey. What is this just like a family genetic thing? Or is this something that you're doing to her?
I don't know. They do tell me she takes after me, and I don't know if that's an insult.
How is that a thing? You're not like... I mean, technically there is some Mikey DNA in there, I guess.
I suppose the DNA that made me did contribute to her somehow.
Yeah, so what is it? Like a defective gene that's being kicked off? Like you know how there's the X gene?
Yeah.
Sometimes it activates under stressful circumstances.
We're the worst mutants.
Yeah, exactly. The smart ones, but that's
we're
it.
the ones who got furry palms and nothing else.
I always remember that guy from the X-Men 90s show where it's just the hairy guy who looked like the old school Wolfman, and he just goes like the racist
mob.
mutant guys.
They're the mob of what were their names?
Wasn't the anti-mutant league? What was that?
Something like your man with the glasses was in charge of it.
Yeah, and they all had berets on.
Yeah,
for some reason.
and it turned out he was Sabretooth's son. But
That's right.
Yeah, and they were just like, I don't have any special powers. I just look different.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh man. Yeah, he's not even like Beast where he had like abilities. He was just really hairy. That's it. It's like, oh mate, don't be mean to hairy dude.
Yeah, you never see him in the comics, do you?
No. Do you know why? Because he's unplugging his drains most of the time.
Yeah, you know what? He's at home running his business. He's running a home business and he's having to unplug his drain. He's just living a life, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's not trying to change the world.
I hope he, shouldn't judge a mutant by his or her abilities, but I hope he became like a dog groomer. Because he'd have to know how to groom himself, so he'd have to know how to groom animals.
But I want him to be like, no, dog groomer to the stars.
Oh yeah. You got to work your way up.
Yeah. You start with the local pets. You start by getting the name known. But you got the skill, you got the ability, you got the experience. Sometimes you do yourself up to look like the dogs. It's fine.
It would be a very Hollywood thing of like, oh, we've hired a mutant to groom our dogs.
Yeah,
so
like, we're all forward thinking here in Hollywood. We've got 4 mutants working for us. They groom our dogs, clean our toilets,
do the garden work.
Sometimes I like to watch Juan, the mutant whose entire mutation is remarkably big pecs, walk up and down.
I thought you were going to say...
I know what you thought I was going to say.
What did you think I was going to say?
Something bad.
Yes, I thought you were going to say Juan, the white guy who actually has a mutant ability that makes him Hispanic. And it's like, that's not an ability. Juan is just from Mexico. Why you gotta be like
all
this?
All I can think of is the South Park episode where it's just like, oh, you're the last Mexican. No, I'm American. I'm just pretending to be Mexican for a game. No, he needs to go back to Mexico. Go back to Mexico.
It's 100% that. 100%.
They just throw Butters over a wall.
That was a good episode. I like that one.
Yeah, it was good. Butters. All the Butters
episodes
are good.
When South Park hasn't been back on TV for a while now, has it? The last one I remember seeing was the pandemic episode.
I haven't seen that one. I know they're doing another special.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm assuming is the Bye Bye Donald Trump special, but we'll see.
That would make sense, but I remember they didn't. Yeah, it's probably like put in Biden and get rid of Trump.
Yeah, which because in their case, get rid of Mr. Garrison.
Yeah, because they didn't want to make. I remember them saying when the election was going on, and it was between Hillary and Trump. They said they didn't want to go too political because they were fucking sick of seeing that shit in the news. But maybe because it's, I don't know. Maybe they want to go for it because it's the big thing that's happened in America.
One of their most prominent side characters into Donald Trump.
No, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's a neat idea.
Yeah, so. They're going to have to do something with Mr. Garrison.
It's about time, yeah. But I suppose we should move on, Mikey, from our little tangent there. Do you want to tell us, Mikey, about X-Transbots?
X-Transbots, they have announced MX4 Abaddon. So these are renders of their upcoming Galvatron Masterpiece scale figure. Is this poor timing? Are they about to get a call from Hasbro? I don't know. It's happened before. I think it's happened to X-Transbots, in fact. So, this is a Galvatron, so it is based, obviously, on the cartoon model. He'll come with 6 interchangeable faces, which will not need to be part formed to remove. So, I don't think you're going to have to, disassemble the head. You just take off the face. So, there's not much else in this, apart from that bit of information. We see he's got kind of a neutral, semi-smiling face. That seems to be his default. He just sort of looks kind of happy. As I wait for things to load. He's also got a snarling face, which makes him look like a Ninja Turtle. And yeah, we get to see his alt mode as well, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty standard Galvatron alt mode, although it looks fairly clean, it has to be said. I think it looks good. I think this doesn't look like a different toy depending on the direction of the or the angle of the shot, which I think is good. Relevant for later. But I think this is a decent design. I'm not crazy about the arms or the hands, but I'm hoping they come together better physically.
What don't you like about them?
They're weirdly puffy in the forearm.
Yeah, it does look like his forearms are quite stumpy. And I think that's because, like you say, of the I guess the puffy nature of them.
Mm.
I tell you what, I don't like the shoulders. The shoulder design reminds me very much of either, you can choose which you prefer. The old figure arts for like Goku and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or you could say like very early figurized kits as well.
Yeah, no, I absolutely get that. In fact, I've got Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta somewhere to back that up, and I've got Blue Vegeta somewhere who definitely backs that up.
It's acceptable on them because they're model kits.
Yep,
I'd say it's definitely less acceptable here.
Yeah, no, like it's like I remember getting the figure arts Gogeta actually, when that came out, and that was before they had a big engineering change in Dragon Ball figure arts.
That's right, yeah.
And I was so disappointed with that figure. And the shoulders were a big issue for me.
Yeah, because it just looks weird. It's a weird design.
Yeah. I don't think it's quite as bad, but yeah, no, I'm not in love with them.
No, I wouldn't say this sets itself apart from the Hasbro version. I guess you could say it has a cleaner, more animation-accurate canon look, though.
Yeah,
from what I recall of the canon mode.
Yeah, presumably it will also be like larger, but
yes, yeah, because it's MP scale or something, probably, right?
Yeah, a masterpiece Megatron's pretty big.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it seems like he has another face, so that's something.
I'm curious what the other 4 are supposed to be.
Oh, there are more. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
6 interchangeable faces.
Wow.
I said that earlier on, and this just shows how much you listen to me.
I was transfixed with his puffy arms. What can I tell you? I'm not. I can't say this is an amazing Galvatron, but I don't think have we ever been wowed by X Transbots? Personally,
no.
Okay, I didn't think we had.
But
my memory's bad, so
yeah, not really. No.
Okay, fair enough. Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Please do.
Alright, we're going to hit you with a double slammer of the Newage H25 Herbie coloured prototype and the H26 Vanishing Point coloured prototype. The first one, Herbie, is Bumblebee, Vanishing Point is Cliffjumper. One has more accessories than the other and are very slightly different from each other, but, practically the same. Small-scale Bumblebees. The Bumblebee comes with, surprisingly, the jetpack, Sideswipe's jetpack. He has an extra wheel for the back of his car mode. And a pistol, the tiny little pistol that he gets in the show. Sometimes. I don't... Yeah. I'm sure he has it, I just don't remember it being there often. Apparently this is a new and improved version of the Legend Scale H1. So this is a big leap. H1 Flipper G1 Bumblebee.
Yeah, I know Flipper was like that one that set the world on fire. So
I'm not sure why they say new and improved, because the way it says it there makes me think it's an updated version of it, and it's not. It's completely unique.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very different design. It is like... So I'm just gonna... This is a very bad quality image, but I'm going to just... And send this over to you. But, like, it is very different. Yes. But I will, like... So something I don't like about this is the way the chest works out. Like Flipper,
it's interesting.
It's interesting. It just, I don't know. It's just like I think that's one area where I would really aim to be clean. Like here's the thing: I don't think Flipper looks like a crazy design, but I do think it's a charming enough look.
Oh
like
yeah.
Like it's charming. That is a charming design. Like I think the technical aspects of this, basically trying to make it like, what if we tried to do a little tiny masterpiece?
I 100%. But you get that feel.
Are hurting the aesthetic of the robot mode, because the robot mode, it's very very gappy. It's very hingy. Like it didn't come together fantastically for me. It doesn't look bad, and it looks pretty posable. And I know that like people have been really happy with Newage's stuff. So I'm sure it will turn out well. It's just like this looked like they were trying to be overly technical for the scale.
I'll give them credit for trying to do it, because I think I can see why they did it. Obviously, they're trying to get the car mode hood to go down into the chest size and not have it too big, which is obviously the issue with Flipper. He has a very broad chest because it's just the car mode. which is fair enough. But I would agree that there is a lot of gap to it. I think the legs look okay and the arms look okay. It is mainly the torso section where it just kind of... I don't want to... It not comes apart, but it shows a lot more issues to it because of it. But it's superposable from the looks of things, so that's a benefit.
I bet this is a really fun toy to handle.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Like, I think this is going to be something that's fun to pose, and I bet, like, from a technical aspect, I bet that transformation looks like kind of nuts for the scale.
Yeah, for a legend scale figure, yeah, I would agree with that.
So I'd be very curious to handle one. It's just like as a shelf presence, you know.
I like the image where the angriest tiny Spike is about to get into Bumblebee.
Yep, Spike just looks like he has had enough of the bullshit.
Well, where's Chip, Spike? We don't ask where Chip is anymore, Bumblebee. We don't talk about him.
They're on a bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Bumblebee pulled up a little late.
Yeah, accidents happen, man.
There's an empty wheelchair we don't see off to the side.
No, it's just the wheelchair on its side with the wheel still spinning. In the distance you hear like sploosh. Well, I'll see if you can swim. Missed I stand up and I kneel to the wheelchair.
Oh, I've got an image now. It's just like Chip coming upstream. Like, it just turns out Chip is ripped.
Oh my god!
Chip has been doing the Special Olympics now for like years, and none of us knew. So like, it's just like, sir, I have won 17 swimming marathons. I don't know anything about swimming. I don't know what the technical term of like a swimming up and down marathon is. But like, Chip's just come out. He's ripped. Just like, he's so ripped. He's like coming after Bumblebee as he's driving up the road, kind of looking like a skull crawler.
Oh my god!
Like, without, you know. Just every breath, all you hear is the word Spike.
It's a revenge movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I would watch that.
Yeah, it'd be different. It'd be a different Transformers thing, that's for sure.
Transformers, Chip off the old block.
Oh no, it kind of works in a really cheesy way. Oh. We also have Cliffjumper, who obviously transforms in a similar way, but he is slightly retooled, so he, has the effect of being Cliffjumper.
Yes.
He comes with his bazooka, and he also comes with skis. For that one time, he had skis.
And he looks so depressed.
As he should. Well, I mean, no, Cliffjumper wasn't super depressed. He's not fucking Gears. But
no.
Yeah, they've given him a frowny face.
Yeah.
I think I maybe would have gone for a bit more of a like screaming yeah face.
Do you know what? It's a silly thing to do, but the one expression that Cliffjumper's ever had that I thought like really stuck with me from a bad story was the that little bit in All Hail Megatron where it's like, oh my god, this light is going to blink for like 1/15 of a second. No one's going to see it because no one is that bored that they're going to sit there waiting for a light to blink just in case action and violence happens. But Cliffjumper was sitting there, and he just looks like, hell yeah. Like that, he had this wonderful expression in his face then. Like, I have a lot of criticisms about All Hail Megatron. It was kind of hot garbage, but that was not one of it. Like, Shane McCarthy has a good sense of humor, and I love that little scene. It's just like, no one's going to be sitting there. Cliffjumper will wait.
He's always ready for action, always.
Yeah. Also, like, I love the one, this expression is just so unhappy. I love the one where he's, like, leaning down to shoot someone, like, he's sniping someone with a bazooka, because that's what you do with a bazooka. And he just, the expression on his face is just like, I don't like you, and I'm not happy about doing this. Like, it's not angry. So unhappy. It's just like, I'm not happy to be here.
Nope. I'm not having fun at all shooting this amazing bazooka. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Like, he's come to work and everyone else is like dressed up in their favorite ties or something like that. Or it's like silly hat day. I don't know. And Cliffjumper's there and he's just like, not having fun at work today. I came here to work. We were supposed to work.
Everyone's being silly. I hate it. Any other thoughts on these guys, Mikey? Because, I mean, the criticisms just kind of transfer over from Bumblebee to Cliffjumper, obviously sharing the mold. But
yeah, I like Cliffjumper's accessories a little bit more, but that's about it.
Yeah, they're a bit more exciting than a jetpack and a tiny gun. At least you've got a big gun here. Granted, I think the skis are, probably less interesting than a jetpack. I don't know. It's weird. I got nothing else. Mikey, do you want to take us on to Masterpiece Stuff?
Masterpiece Stuff? one of these is something I'm not super interested in, I have to admit. There is a, according to it tweeted, blah, 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 I'm tripping over my own tongue. Twitter user Yuki07153 tweeted an image from the latest Figure King magazine that hints at a masterpiece Skyfire. Presumably he'd be called Jetfire over here for licensing reasons, but hoy hoy. So in one line it mentions that more masterpiece figures are on the way, including Skyfire. So presumably this would be a cartoon version of him. I would be curious to see how it turned out. I would also laugh my ass off if they're doing like the Super G1 version and then also gave him Macross armor like they did with the Commander. Because that's the best thing about the Commander. But I think... Yeah, no, I think, like, I have no objection to them doing a Skyfire. Just like, so, super not going to do them Decepticons, huh? Still no Galvatron.
No, why would you?
Why would you do a new Galvatron? Now, the other thing is something I honestly thought had been fucking cancelled.
Oh?
We have new information after at least 2 years on Masterpiece Raiden.
Oh, has it? It hasn't been 2 years, has it?
2019, this was announced.
Oh, you're joking! Oh my god!
So, like, we had it. Like, there was a big train expo back in the day, and it was announced that we would be getting a Raiden, and then it all went quiet. Weirdly enough, what could have happened in 2020 to shut everyone up? Who knows? But we have confirmation the project is still being worked on. The train he will be about the same size as a Combiner Wars Gestalt. So he'll probably... I'm hoping he's more in the Devastator range. Just because I do like I like the size of the Combiner Wars figures. I just rather, for that kind of money, maybe a bit bigger. But then again, like, you're getting 6 articulated masterpiece engineered figures. So maybe having them smaller is not the worst idea in the world to cut a few costs. Because this is going to be dear. Unlike most masterpieces, as long as it's not like $1,000, I can probably see where the price is going to come from. But
that's fair. That's fair.
If I see a fucking $1,000 on this, if someone says like you've got to buy 6 figures at $200 each, I will.
Oh boy, you can see it happening potentially though.
It's just like for Raiden, no one cares about Raiden. Let's be honest. Like, Andy, do you care about Raiden?
Not really.
Yeah.
He's an Autobot.
Yeah, I care more about Rail Racer.
Yeah.
And like, so like, I just like the idea of Raiden.
Yeah, that's fair.
The fact that
but
Raiden
to be fair, it's a good one for the Japanese market.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I honestly have no problems with Raiden as an individual. I think he's a neat design. I like the train thing. It's such a Japanese thing. It's just like, I don't care about Raiden emotionally.
Okay, that's fair.
I just like the idea of this. So yeah, there's not much else on that one. So I'll just throw these in as well, just because save us doing a lot of skipping, and that means you get to talk about it first.
Oh no!
Well, you're the one who got called out about it.
What? Oh, okay. We'll see. I don't know what we're talking about.
You'll see.
Okay.
So we've got a new image of Masterpiece Skids. It looked
Yay.
like Skids. The most exciting Transformer known to man, but
I'm sure someone likes him.
I'm sure someone does. I saw one guy who did, and then got really annoyed about when they saw the episode he was in, where he was a chair.
They hadn't seen the episode with him in.
They just really liked the design.
Oh.
So we haven't seen this kind of thing at this level in a while. This is actually something I really liked about Masterpiece, like 3 or 4 years ago. We are getting a repaint, but not into anything necessarily what you'd expect. So this is a repaint and a retool with new head into a new character called Reboost. Now, Reboost is based off of the original Diaclone Honda Civic. So this is the original paint scheme from the Diaclone toy with a new head sculpt, something I always enjoy. And they're not referencing any of the characters it could have been from Transformers like Crosscut or Screech, who are based off of the Skids mold, which is something I also like. So I like this. I would be way more into getting Reboost than Skids. I also think it's probably a wise thing, and probably indicative of the fact it's Skids, that they also said, like, look, you can get something else if you don't like blue. So, yeah, What else? He will include the iconic Honda Moto Compo, which was included with the original Diaclone mold release. I don't know what that is.
Nor do I. I have no idea.
What is a Honda Moto Compo? Anyway, I think both of them... Oh, it's a little bike. That you store in the back of your Honda. What do you think of him? I think he looks neat. And Skids is there too.
It's okay. I mean, the obvious thing is like, hey, do you want to do the Diaclone version? And again, it's probably better for the Japanese market to do the Diaclone version rather than do... What was the name? Cross something? You mentioned it earlier. Yeah, doing Crosscut, who's only really an IDW, and even then, he didn't do much from what I remember.
And he's silver.
Yeah, which again, it's like, it's fine. It's not like the most striking color scheme. Like having red and just kind of flipping the colors around so the red's blue and the blue's red. And like you say, for the Diaclone aspect, I think that's probably the better move to make. Giving it a unique head, again, a good choice. But I just more Skids at the end of the day for me. So it's like okay. Like you said, having the motorbike though, that's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's only with this one rather than Skids. Is that the idea, or do you not know?
Yeah, they said it was for the Diaclone version, so I'm assuming so. Again, this is like a translation of a figure game.
Sure, yeah. Who knows? Things could change as well between now and then. Which is fair enough. Yeah. Skids, more Skids. Okay.
Yay!
Repaints too. It was going to happen at some point. Shall it take us on, Mr. Mikey?
Yes.
All right. Well, we have images, more images, trailer comparison pics and whatnot of Transformers Kingdom Commander Class Rodimus Prime. Yay! We also have a picture of him standing behind the Studio Series Hot Rod, and we can see he's significantly bigger. So, Mikey, we can tell that he is totally worth the amount of money that we have to spend on him. Well, not we, but the people have to spend on him. We also see exactly what the trailer can do. The trailer can open up, and if you are inclined, you can put Rodimus Hot Rod, whatever that car mode is now called, in there.
I've turned this into a weird Wizard of Oz thing, I have to admit.
What do you mean?
Well, basically, it's kind of like, you thought Hot Rod was Rodimus. No. Rodimus is someone he puts forward. Like, pay no attention to the car inside the trailer. Like, it turns out Rodimus never existed. Rodimus fell out of the balloon.
Oh my god. Oh no. You can also store the gun turret mobile platform tread bit on top of the Winnebago mode if you want to, and
the smoke effect
that's
part.
it. What's that?
They're the smoke effect part for the exhaust.
Oh yeah, there's that
you can barely see because they put a white text behind it.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. Huh. There it is. Yeah, why would they do that? I thought that was like a scribble.
Nope.
To be honest. Huh. I guess that's the part that could melt with your toy. So we know there's the effect part for the for the exhaust, and there's the effect part for the Matrix. I don't know if we know of any other bits though, right? Effects part wise.
No, like again, there's supposed to be I think 10 in here. So, and he's got a sword, a little sword as well, which I saw. I was listening to one podcast, and someone was really annoyed by the sword.
Why?
I don't know, but technically it does appear in fiction. It's from Regeneration 1. So,
fair enough.
I found out during the week.
I will say that we see as well how the cab or Winnebago part opens up. And how much transforming it does, and the ramp for it has a connection port, so you can, connect it to the MicroMaster bases and the cities and all that kind of jazz.
And you can drive a car into the trailer.
You can, yes. It opens up, so you can slide something in there. Mikey,
yes.
Well, what do you think now that we've seen basically all the images for this guy? I imagine there won't be a huge amount more, apart from maybe yet to push some more effects parts. Maybe.
My opinion hasn't changed.
Okay.
I've seen lots of people, like, the same people who were excited the first time are excited this time. And
okay, that makes
sense.
Again,
not judging anyone who wants this or is excited by this. I'm just saying right now.
Sure.
Again, I just don't see the money. I do not see $80 to $100 in this toy.
How tall is this figure meant to be, then, judging by the size of Studio Series? Because how big is Studio Series Hot Rod?
He is slightly taller than the Deluxe. He's on the Voyager price point because he's fairly heavily engineered, and he comes with like quite a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So he's one of those ones I would say like accessories and everything else do bring him up.
Right.
Like maybe not to the full Voyager price point, but he's definitely like I would pay more than the deluxe for him, you know.
Right.
If I was buying him, which I don't want to. But so we see him. So okay, he looks like, oh my god, he's huge. Fortunately, we have the Galvatron Pictures next, and they show that Galvatron is slightly taller than the Voyager Optimus. But it also has him next to Hot Rod, and Galvatron is noticeably taller than Hot Rod, and I would guess based on this picture that Rodimus is coming in about the same height as Voyager Optimus.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah.
And did you
maybe the same size as Galvatron, but I think that might be a push, to be honest.
That might be the spoiler. I'd say the spoiler is the same height as Galvatron. Now this is interesting to me because I finally decided like I'm going to go back and do an actual size comparison here.
Oh my god!
And I went back and I looked at Skylinks and Jetfire. And I looked at pictures of them compared to either the Siege or the Earthrise Voyager. And they would eat him alive without swallowing.
Why do you say that, Mike?
They're huge. They're bigger than I ever thought they were.
They are really like big toys. They come in some big packaging. Like Skylinks isn't obviously as big as Skyfire, but he's much longer, obviously.
Like the vast majority of the money for this package is being made up by the trailer, which is the thing that you will mess about with for a couple of days and then put away in a lot of cases. And if I'm looking for a Rodimus Prime figure, I'm not looking for a Rodimus Prime with accessory figure. And like accessories are wonderful as long as it feels like with Hot Rod, where in my opinion the money is made. And like I used to be a bit dodgy about the whole armor up thing with Shockwave and everyone else.
Yeah, but then you got him and you're like, oh my god.
And you know what? Play value, fun, overall just general engineering of the core figure. That was a good purchase. That was something like, do you know what? I could pay now, especially now I've seen what they're doing. I probably would go back in time and pay full price for him.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Which I wouldn't have at the time, and I have argued against before. And like it got me interested in at some point maybe trying either Ultra Magnus or the Galaxy Force Prime. Maybe.
Right.
Just because I'm not as interested in them in general, they would probably be like, I don't want to pay anywhere near full price, but
I would imagine you should be able to get the Ultra Magnus fairly easily, just because the Ultra Magnus obviously came out the first time, then in the spoiler box, and then there's a redo of that into the Earth mode version, so theoretically the Cybertron version should be cheap. I guess.
But like, if you'd put something like that in here, like this arm, like you had your base Rodimus figure, and then this thing armored up like mad, and you had like this big, cool, gimmicky toy, like, you'd still have your very G1 Rodimus. But then you're just like, and listen, we've got a trailer, but look at all this cool shit the trailer does. And this is stuff that you can engage with, you can come back to, that will not make you want to put that trailer away, you know? Because that's the thing, like, that trailer, for me, it's going away. Right? And because I can't stick it anywhere, I don't have the room. Like, it's a big footprint. It has to do enough to justify that footprint. Like, anyway, I'm bitching about stuff I already bitched about. Basically, no, like, my opinion hasn't changed. I don't think this toy is worth the money that you're paying. That's just my view. Like I said, buy it for a child, then yes, I think it will absolutely be worth it because they'll get what they need to out of it. Andy, what's your thoughts? Has anything changed in your views?
No, not desperately. I kind of looked at it and went, oh, okay, so it is, like, not leader scale, probably. It's kind of what we assumed anyway. It's good to get the confirmation, I guess. I think it's going to keep people happy, like you said, who are happy, and people who are against it, like us, again, just firmly in the camp of not by changing our minds on it, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on, you know, how badly you wanted the figure. But you did bring up, Mikey, the images of Galvatron. So we may as well talk about them as well, as we got more in-hand images of Galvatron. Quite a lot, actually, so we can see him in quite a few poses. Some of them, we have him like in action poses, fighting a hot rod, since that was the only one person had at the time. There's a few versions of the cannon mode, I guess, so you can show how it looks tilting up and whatnot.
I think that's a nice feature, in all honesty.
It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's nice that it's included. A full count of his accessories being the 2 different guns, which can combine together, which is kind of weird, but okay, sure. A version of the Matrix without the crystal in it. There's like a picture with 4 Matrixes in total.
Oh, yeah.
I think it just shows that you can remove the translucent one and remove the colored part. I don't know why that's a thing.
Don't know.
I couldn't see that, to be honest. We have some comparison shots between him and the Titans Return Galvatron as well, which is interesting because they are the same size.
Yeah.
And if you recall, Titans Return, Galvatron was a Voyager. So again, if you want a size comparison, he's about the same scale as your Voyager from a few years ago, which is interesting. Good head sculpt though. Good head sculpt.
Yeah.
But it really does show off, unfortunately, I think, something that we didn't see before, which is he has monkey arms and teeny tiny legs.
Yes.
Seemingly.
Which led to so much shouting on Twitter about, apparently, this is a term now going around, leaker culture, is something I've encountered.
Oh my god, really? Is
Yes.
this a thing?
Yes.
I didn't see this.
And also, like, arguing about camera angles and... Well,
I don't see how, because a lot of these are, like, front on, and you can just see.
I mean, I will agree with some people, like, what they said was just like, listen, it's all about the angle you're taking the picture of. And I think with this toy, more than any I've seen in a long time, he can look like a different figure depending on angles. Like, it's miraculous. And like, from like, there's, if you're doing a perspective shot, he looks completely different than if you're doing a front on or a side on or anything like that. Like, it's fascinating, and honestly. But a lot of people then said, like, he looked at this kind of like Gorilla Army, teeny legs, big everything else, and said, like, no, that's the camera angle. And then we saw him front on, and like, I still like him. I will say that I'm not against the toy. I still like him. He still looks like a fun figure.
Yes.
I wouldn't be paying full price for him if I was getting him. I would definitely try to get him on discount.
Yeah, I definitely think he has some proportion issues, and I think for people who are size queens, I think I'm surprised this isn't an issue for them, potentially.
Yeah,
because I think proportions are more important than scale in my eyes.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, you come from the era where everybody wanted scale, but we never really got it, so you just had to accept it.
Yeah, like, and I want, like, for me, it's like, am I getting the toy for the engineering? Like, am I getting either just a sheer lump of plastic? Am I getting the engineering? And am I getting accessory count and everything else? I think the engineering on the transformation might push it over into value. But like,
maybe it's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just looking at it. There's more going on here than you usually do. But like, it's also like you see a mix of Beast Wars Megatron, and Beast Wars Megatron in his Dino mode is bigger than him.
And, which is interesting.
And like, I saw someone on Twitter go like, well, I mean, like, leaders are all smaller now, and they're just like, we have Megatron and Grimlock out in the last 2 months.
That's the thing.
They're both very big in comparison to everyone else. So like, I and I've never been particularly interested in like whether my toys are in scale with each other. I have to admit, it's just not who I am. It's not who I am, man.
That's fine.
But I do like him. I do genuinely like him. I just need to see a bit more. And like, then, would he show up at a time when I have money on discount and I haven't put that money aside to buy all the Kingdom figures I couldn't get at the time?
I just think it's more interesting that you tell me that there's a thing now about leak culture.
Leak culture.
I think that sounds like a very deliberate use of words.
Yeah, it's not quite...
It's a very deliberate use of words, considering what other kind of, in quotations, culture is talked about online.
Yeah, so it's evocative is the term I like. I would say there is no such thing as leak culture. There are people who get leaked toys.
Yeah.
And then do leaks in a dumb way.
I don't even know what leak culture... What is leak culture? What does it mean to be leak culture, apart from just to leak an image?
This is where I get like a grammar Nazi, and I'm just like, culture implies a standard of norms. Mm-hmm. A standard of accepted practices within that. That's because like there you can have variances which kind of exceptions prove the rule.
Sure.
we have a culture around Transformers. There are some very clear standards that everyone's supposed to meet, and some people don't, some people do, and generally outliers are treated like outliers are in every society, which is get kicked in the nuts. There's nerd culture, like that's a real thing, and then you go beyond that. But like, I do not think you could argue there's an inverted commas leak culture, because these are a bunch of people all doing different things. With very little crossover in how they approach it beyond they're taking photos of toys they got illegally.
And early.
That's
it. Yeah.
So,
weird.
Cool.
Very strange. But there you go. Yay! Yay. I'll take this quick story as well, because it's a quickie. Transformers Kingdom Golden Disc Collection Pterosaur and Ranger Puffer Amazon listing. Say what? You heard me. Deluxe Ranger Puffer. Puffer.
All adders are puffs.
I guess, yeah. People are asking, what could this be? A 2-pack reference to Puffer, the blue Huffer variant sold as pipes in Mexico?
Okay, so I had to do some digging into what the feck Puffer was, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd never heard of it.
So, Ranger Puffer, like, I could get the Ranger thing would be, because, like, licensing. Puffer, right, so Pipes is obviously a heavily retooled version of Huffer, right?
Yes.
In some EU markets, and apparently in Mexico, instead of using the retooled version, they just repainted a Huffer and sold it as Pipes.
Yeah, because it was the same for, was it Hubcap? No, it was things like Hubcap.
Yeah,
it's like those
like,
mini bots that just got random repainted and
Yeah.
sold again in Mexico and other places.
Yeah, so the fandom apparently knew enough about this guy, because I've been in this fandom for longer than any of us would like to admit, and I've never heard of this.
No,
but
me neither.
Puffer is a fan name because it's Pipe and Huffer.
Okay.
So the only thing is there is a deluxe Huffer figure in Kingdom. So the only thing anyone can think that would make sense is that it's a blue repaint of Huffer. I suggested, could it be like, is it like a retool into Pipes and there's some licensing problems? But like someone said that Pipes is supposed to be Wave 4 in general, like regular release. So
right.
Yeah. And Pterosaur, like, I'm pretty sure it's just an Air-Razor retool.
Yeah, I remember you saying that online. When you say the Air-Razor retool, I assume you mean like just keep the basic transformation sense, right?
Yeah,
and then do the heavy retool.
Yeah, because like you need new wings, you need new legs and stuff like that, but you don't have to change anything in the engineering. Like, the only thing I think if you want them, like, super tune accurate, is you got to give a plate over the chest, and then instead of having the bird head fall down, you have the Pteranodon head fall back.
Yep, it's something they could do. It'd be nice if it was a different mold, but I think it would make more sense for them to use a similar transformation scheme, like you said, with a few tweaks, just because who are you going to repaint Air-Razor into?
Yeah, and like...
Not many, if any.
Oh god, who? Like Skywarp. Beast Wars Skywarp.
Well, no, I saw some people doing like a shattered glass Air-Razor, which looked quite nice, but even then it's like, well, I don't...
That's a fan thing, and there isn't a...
Yeah, exactly.
Is there
I don't think they'd actually do
Air-Razor?
I mean, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Probably.
I don't know.
Do you mean an official one or a fan one?
I'm going to... Because, like, I would be very surprised if Hasbro was going, like, there's this cool fan paint job, let's use that.
Well, to be fair, like, any Shad Glass stuff technically is fan version, right? Because it was all done by BotCon, right?
But don't start with me, boy. Don't start with me.
We're going down a hole, Mikey.
Listen, I've already got Shattered Glass Octopunch on my mind today. I don't need that. Duck boobs. He was Subaru before Subaru.
I was thinking that as well when I saw you put up that post today.
Wah. But yeah, like, I'd be surprised. Like, the fact it's an Amazon thing as well, I'd be very surprised if it was a new mold.
I'd be surprised as well, to be honest. Yeah, like you say. Yeah, because I didn't mention this listing comes via the Amazon Australia. I suppose that doesn't mean it will be an exclusive to Australia, though. Or, not Australia, to Amazon. Doesn't mean that. It just means that's where it's popped up first.
Sold outside Australia, you get shot.
Oh my god. It's just like the toys are poison. Like you touch them and you die from horrible Australian poisons, which are all over the place, I'm sure. Any thoughts on these, Mikey? Because I think Pterosaur's an obvious choice to go for. He's a season 1 dude, fairly important. To a point, I guess. Not Tarantulas though. So
no, he's not.
Get that sorted. The most important character to do from season 1 now at this point, I would say, is Tarantulas.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion.
Anyone who says Rhinox did not see the show.
Rhinox is fine.
Rhinox is fine, but he's not a Tarantulas.
Exactly. That's the issue here. Mikey, do you want to take us on to our last story of the night?
Yeah. I'll throw something else in here as well that I forgot.
Oh my god.
I'll actually get that out of the way. There is an official announcement of a Transformers virtual reality augmented reality video game for your phone.
Oh, okay. For your phone.
Translation, Transformers Go. But
no.
Pokemon Go with Transformers.
Okay.
Or Jurassic World Alive with Transformers. Or any of the other 15 billion games like this have come out in the last 3 years, but with Transformers. All on mobile because it gets you walking and spending money you shouldn't. Anyway, so that's that. Everyone rush out and don't buy that. So anyway, Renegade Studios share tidbits on Transformers and G.I. Joe RPG games. So, Renegade Studios has announced a brand new licensing agreement to manufacture RPG board games based on Hasbro properties, including Transformers. So, creative talent at Renegade is working on this new normal period to complete their work. I'm assuming they're basically like, hey, we have nothing else to do right now because it's a pandemic. And they did a podcast interview. Elisa Teague, who's the senior producer of RPGs over at Renegade, said, you're not going to be playing as Optimus or anything like that. You're going to build your own character. What kind of alt mode, motivation, rank, function, etc. So yeah, it's basically going to be vaguely D&D with Transformers. Or at least, the standard RPG mechanic kind of thing, but with Transformers. So yeah, we haven't heard anything else. So wait and see, really.
Okay, cool.
I
interesting, potentially.
Yeah, like, if it wasn't for how we did get some life out of the card game, so I honestly wouldn't be surprised if maybe we could get a little bit of life out of this. That would be nice.
It's still strange that the card game just stopped. It seemed to, if I remember, just stop out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, right? From what I heard, there were some stuff going on behind the scenes and some, listen, we're all in the worst shape we've ever been in. We have to keep Magic the Gathering safe and happy. Nothing else matters.
Well, wow, interesting, because they're picking up Warhammer recently, so you would have thought they would have picked back up maybe getting other licenses is okay because they have to pay you presumably for it. I don't know. I can't imagine they would have got Wizards of the Coast would have gone out of their way deliberately to ask for Warhammer, but maybe that was the case. I don't know. Odd, right?
Yeah, and again, I'd say there's a big difference in terms of how it functions when you're doing Warhammer versus Transformers.
I don't know. I don't know.
One is definitely a bigger property. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I would imagine Warhammer's. Warhammer wouldn't have been a few years ago, when the movies were coming out at that time, 2007-ish, 2010-ish.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I'm unsure, to be honest. But Transformers definitely has waned. I would definitely agree with that. Anything else to say for that, Mr. Mikey?
No, I'm good.
All right. What have you been up to this week, son? What have you done? For fun.
Let's see. I finished Nova. I finished my Flame Toys Nova Prime out of the Flame Toys G1 Prime. So that was really, 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 really fun.
Woo!
I need more alligator clips, but that was really, 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 really fun. I did not have enough.
No, you never do.
But no, I really enjoyed it. It was a real learning experience as well. About how to do when to top coat, when not to top coat, how to get the primer on properly. Oh god, it's not drying right. What do I do? Oh god, I've dropped something. What do I do? It's the end of the world. I've mispainted. Do I have to start again? But really, really fun. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. I'm not doing Warhammer.
Why not?
Because it's not my thing. I really
You don't have to play the game. You just need to paint the models.
I know, but I really like the building part, with model kits as well. So taking something I really already learned to enjoy, and doing it. And Warhammer is just not as into the building. There is building in it, but it is a simpler experience.
I suppose that depends, because if you ask the kit bashers, the people that build their own things, they have a very different idea.
Yeah, but no. Also, like, the level, like, I would be so frustrated by, like, the small detail painting on that.
If I can do it, you can do it.
You are a talented man of great gifts.
No, I am very not. Very much so not.
But for the moment, I think I'll only have one expensive hobby that feeds into my other expensive hobby. I don't need more expensive hobbies.
That's not true. Are you really a nerd?
I'm a poor nerd. I am
you
a
should
nerd.
always want more.
I am a nerd in training, sir.
What,
the worst kind of nerd to be.
What would the Witch of Greed think of you, Mikey? You're not greedy enough.
I want it. I just can't have it yet. Give me a few years. Don't bring a kid into this. That's not fair.
Isn't it, though?
That's attacking me emotionally.
Yay.
I am basically Rosewall. But yeah, no, I really liked it. Also, and I really liked how he turned out in general. Like, for the very first time, I think it's a really good look. Like, they should do a real kit of this. Like, this would be a really good color scheme to do as, like, an exclusive.
I like how you're patting yourself on the back. Yes, I made a better color scheme than they have.
Yes, I did. They had like, one big block of red and blue, and, like, because that's what Optimus is. This is, like, lots of breakups and everything else. But, the Flame Toys liked it, so that's good. And I got some good feedback on it, and I got some good advice as well, from people who are doing model kit and gunpla painting and stuff like that. So I don't know when the next thing I try to do will be. I had a weird...
I saw something about a Devastator.
Yes, I saw Devastator was on sale at Hobby Frontline. He's still a bit much, but like, if I could maybe, like, I could get him, like, I was trying to think, like, what kind of color scheme could you do in him? Because again, I still want to be mold complete, but kind of like the G1 Optimus, like, I'm not super into the kit as it is, but as a little project with a bit more color. And it wouldn't have to be necessarily Transformers referential. It could be something original or something. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh yes?
I just had a horrible eureka moment.
Yay! What was it?
So this is something else I did during the week. I introduced someone to the background of KISS players, and it was just such a joyous experience. Because they'd bought a KISS player toy, were disgusted by the box, but were saying, like, well, I don't own any of these. And they were just like, do you know the story behind all this? Let me tell you a tale of the mid-2000s where Japanese, like, fiction was trying to say, like, how can I fuck up cute imagery?
Mm-hmm. Mikey, more than happy to ruin people's day.
Oh my, yes! I think I broke the poor man. And I'm just like, I mean, if I'm painting something, it can be referential to literally anything. What if Devastator, right? But Rosanna.
Okay.
A big pink Devastator.
Okay. It only works if you replace the head with a Hello Kitty.
They have a Hello Kitty.
There you go. Job's a good one, as they say.
Oh, what mad roads are we going down? But yeah, they didn't know what Legion was either. So I told them, but I specifically didn't share the picture. And then they came back and said, like, while you were explaining this, I Googled.
Yeah,
I just responded like, "There's a reason I didn't share that image," and it's like, "This is the sickest shit I've ever seen." I'm just like, one of the problems with KISS players was that it actually wasn't pushing the boundaries as much as was standard at the time.
I was gonna say it's the sickest shit that you've seen. Man, you pure innocent child.
Try Naruto, a series I regret reading because no one should die like that. Oh look, it's just like, it was this, for anyone who doesn't know, there was a period in Japanese fiction where basically everything, like the horror genre went in for, like, let's do cute stuff but vicious. Kind of spun out of Madoka Magica, but Madoka Magica was kind of its own thing as well. So like Naruto was one of the big ones, which is kind of like adorable little space dragons with horrible violence and everything else, and one girl dying because she's let's not put too fine a point of it, she's fingered in half.
Oh no, that's not good.
Because a monster slices her in half from the vagina with one very big claw. And I was just like, that's the day I stopped reading. Because, no, you know what? I like horror, and I like psychological horror, and I like lots of weird shit, but...
That was enough for Mikey.
That's just gross.
Yeah.
And like horror, being gross for its own sake is not fun. So yeah, Kids Players came out around the time where a guy wanted to introduce that to Transformers, but couldn't do it at the level he wanted to. So what we
just
got
as well, maybe.
But we got the tamed down version that they then turned into like cute, wacky fun times with Rosanna and kids.
Yay!
So yeah. Anyway, Nova, really good experience, really fun kit to build as well. Really like
Okay.
I've handled for the first time in a while. I handled the other Flame Toys kits.
Mm-hmm.
One Nemesis has cracked hips that happened without me realizing it.
Oh, how did that happen? Is it just like the plastic went, or
yeah?
something?
I think it's just there was like the pressure of the plastic. He still stands fine. It's
That's
just
a shame,
like
though.
the legs come off a lot easier now.
Right.
Still a fun. Like it's also like just in general, it is the weakest figure, which it was the very first thing they ever did.
So it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. There's a big leap in quality with the IDW figures. They're both excellent still. And really solid, and I've had them both for like a year, 2 years now. But like this guy again, engineering wise, is a leap above them as well. Like they're just getting better and better, which I'm really happy about. Like Windblade got announced. Our prototype of Windblade came out this week, so we didn't talk about it. It's not like it's a picture of Windblade doing the Iron Man pose, but like
yeah.
super.
How close is that to coming out now? Do we know? I can't remember.
Probably like Rodimus's summer.
Okay.
So, and then Drift, Shatterglass Drift, and then I'm assuming
end
Windblade.
of the year,
Yeah,
maybe.
I'd say end of the year.
August to November-ish, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah, definitely.
Like
That's when I'm expecting him. Or her, rather. But no, like, I really like Flame Toys. I'm really glad they're keeping on. Like, I'm so amazed they've lasted it for almost 5 years now.
Wow, 5 years. Holy crap.
Almost 5 years since they started.
Wow.
And they've just, from my opinion, those kits are going from strength to strength. They're really good, and it was such a fun experience to have this be the figure I was starting my customization on.
Yay!
So, didn't do anything else toy-wise. Last Dungeon wrapped up this week.
It seems like a lot of the anime shows are wrapping up
it is that time
around
of year.
now.
That time of year, new stuff is starting. Godzilla Singular Point is this week, I think.
Okay.
And Dinosaur.
Ooh,
and Godzilla versus Kong.
Dinosaur's the third, isn't it?
Yeah, so like there was a lot of kaiju shit in the next week or so.
Yeah. Oh, poor Mikey. You're going to hate that.
Yeah, and there was Pacific Rim mid last month. And just a lot of kaiju shit all at once. Oh god, I hope Singular Point is good. But Last Dungeon wrapped up, and that was a terrible ending to an otherwise really solid show. Because it was the we don't have anything more to adapt ending. And it was one of the worst one of those I've ever seen.
Oh no.
They introduced a ton of big plot stuff, and then at the end they're just going like, oh, we're going to have adventures going forward. Haha, bye. That was literally the end. I was just like, I'm sorry, what? I started blinking.
Oh.
I haven't seen one that bad since... I can't even remember. It's been years. Like, we're talking pre-Isekai days.
Wow. Yeah.
Since I've seen one that bad. That was really disappointing because I'd been really enjoying that show. So, unfortunately, it's one of those ones where I think the ending... Because it ends in a way that's like, sure hope we get a season 2. You won't.
Oh.
I'd be very surprised if you did.
It would need to do really kind of well for it to be pulled back onto course, you think?
Yeah. And I'm not going to be sitting here where season 2, like, a year down the line, you know? So, unfortunately, like, I can't recommend that show anymore because it's one of those ones where I think the ending is just not worth the investment you're putting in. And which is a real shame because it was really funny and really fun and enjoyable. ReZero, season 2 also wrapped up.
What episode did it end on? Episode 15?
25.
Oh, well, I mean, for this season.
12.
12, okay.
12, I think. It was either 24 or 25, whichever episode it was. Yeah, it's 25 because last season ended on episode 13.
Okay.
They haven't announced the season 3 yet, and I think that's illegal.
You know how this works.
I don't want to wait 4 years anymore.
Too bad.
Holy crap, this show is so good.
I can only hope they won't... do we even know why it took them that long to...
Because they hate me personally.
I mean, do we know why it took 4 years to get season 2 into production? Because it wasn't in production all that time.
No,
clearly.
it wasn't. Like, that's, I don't know. Before this, they released that, like, mildly extended version.
Oh, yeah.
Which was
Yeah,
actually,
that's right.
which was, like, I saw some people go, like, it's really good to have a trimmed down version of ReZero. And I
What?
once shouted at the wall, are you fucking insane?
It was the extended version. How does that mean it's trimmed down?
They've only got, like, 13 episodes. It's cut down.
Oh my god, what? Why? Why would you want less?
Yeah, I want more.
Yes, more.
There's no such thing as filler in ReZero.
No, thankfully not yet. I mean, there always could be. Where Subaru
maybe-
just stands there crying for a while.
Yeah.
Well, a while more. A while more.
Like, maybe they didn't have enough material to adapt at the
I
time.
don't- Is that true?
I don't know, but I know they've got at least 2 or 3 arcs that have already been written that haven't been done into animation, so they've got plenty to do.
Yeah.
Like, this was just, from what I understand, like 1.5 arcs.
Okay.
So that puts us in arc 4, and there's at least 6 or 7 arcs already told.
I can't imagine it hasn't done well either.
No,
Because, I mean,
no.
it's ReZero, so...
Yeah, as far as I know, it's gone down like a house on fire. Yeah, it was a really good ending. It was like a nice culmination of things. We had resolutions for all the characters. Roswell gets loads of good stuff in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Loads of good stuff. I now officially love Betty. Or Beako, or Beatrice, whichever one you want to call her. She's great. There's a little bit of culmination of what was going on with Puck. Like, I don't think we'll see Puck for a long time, but he hasn't technically gone away.
Okay.
Won't spoil anything there. We got the end of the Pecora story. As I will always know it as. Oh god, it was just very, 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 very good. We got to see Echidna again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love Echidna. I love that she somehow turned into not really the villain of the series, just this the in some way the main character because she's the one constant. Okay. I have no qualms. I have no criticisms. I've tried to think of some.
Wow.
This is good. This is good shit.
Good.
This makes me want to go back and watch the whole thing from the start again. What kind of
Do
good
it.
shit. Yeah. Also, it got confirmed that Shield Hero Season 2 is due in October, I think.
Oh, wow, that far away. Huh.
But again, COVID, like these days.
Oh, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Still, it like when you said it, I thought you meant, like next month when everything's starting up, because it just makes sense. But no, okay, fair enough.
But listen, if they can avoid doing what ReZero had to do, which was split the thing in half.
Yeah.
Which is such a shame, because like the show was so not designed to be divided into.
No, definitely not. It'll be interesting to see if Shield Hero keeps going with the pace it was going at, or if it'll start losing steam. Like, you get past season 1 and it's just, this is just, more of the same, but nothing interesting.
Yeah.
Which sometimes can happen.
Risk. Always a risk.
Yeah.
ReZero could have easily gone that way, but didn't. Turned into an incredible series. Like, ReZero is just a show that I would recommend to anyone who likes good television.
Wow.
Like, genuinely, not even just anime genre. If you like good television, please watch ReZero. It will be emotionally affecting. Speaking of which, Ruby wrapped up as well, Volume 8.
Yay.
Which I summed up on Twitter as, I remember when this was a happy show. It's not a happy show anymore. Oh, this one opens with a content warning.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not unjustified. So every season recently has kind of ended on just like, oh no.
Oh, yes.
And this is just like, oh no. Yeah, firmly cementing Cinder as a villain. Like, I was expecting her, like, because we got her backstory this time around, and I was really expecting at some point to be kind of like, listen, you're now sympathetic to her backstory, such as it is, and we're going to add that human element to her, and she'll probably be shown to be a bit more appealing and reasonable on some level, because probably they'll want to do a shift with her changing sides at some point to be the bad guy. No, I think they're actually probably building her up to be the big bad guy.
Ooh.
Which I wasn't expecting. A couple of characters survived that I was fully expecting to die. And a few died that I wasn't expecting. Ruby. It ended up to be a very, very good show. And yeah, please be prepared. There is some kind of upsetting stuff in the most recent episode. I was fine with it. I'm sure some people would really prepare to be, warned.
Okay.
Well, the other thing I noted was, so PlayStation's doing this play at home thing at the moment, which is basically they put up free games that you don't pay anything for.
I saw the list and I was like, there's nothing I want, unfortunately.
Yeah, most of them I wasn't interested in, except like they had Subnautica on there, and I've been toying with like I'd like to at least play Subnautica once.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was like having a bit of a like, oh my god, every game I have is a big epic sprawling thing.
I mean, it is big and it is sprawling.
It is sprawling, but so it's a survival game.
It's Minecraft.
Not really.
No, it is. I've played both. They're very similar.
They're similar, but like this is a story.
Yeah,
and it has an end.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an open world game in the sense, like, you can take your time and do it at your own pace, but you are doing something. Like, you
don't have to be. Like, there's nothing to force you to do the story.
The thing is, I think the difference is, I think the game is, like, Minecraft is structured infinitely, right?
Sure.
Subnautica isn't. Subnautica has very strict limits, and I've done like 6 or 7 hours now, and like, okay, if you don't get involved, like, if you tried to play this without the story, this game would have maybe a few weeks of a few hours a day playing it. Like, this is a game where, like, it's structured like you have hit a point where you literally have nothing else to do. Go do the story, get the ability to do something else.
I assume you mean, like, for creating stuff, because
yeah,
there's certainly, like, going out and finding stuff, but there's nothing for you to go, like, oh, I need to... Like, when I was playing it, I was just going around doing things and picking up stuff. I wasn't really paying attention to what the actual story was.
Yep. The way it is, like, you can pick up stuff, but, like, if you're talking about the creative side of it, you have very strict limits, like, that are, like, basically, you'll hit a point of the game where you have nothing else to add on, despite the fact you have to add stuff on. So you have to go do the story element and come back, and you can then do a bit more.
Well, you have to go and explore, certainly.
And where you're exploring, like, you can't explore most of the areas without doing a story thing to find a part to build a submarine to go deeper. That kind of stuff. And I like the story. I like the world. Like, it's a gorgeous game. Cartoony, but in a really, like, atmospheric way. I really like the soundtrack. But I just needed something chill. And this is nice and chill. But I do also like the world a lot. I couldn't play this game in a Minecraft sense. I couldn't play this game hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So I'm really grateful that the way I play is, like, I set up a base. I do the minimum things I need to get everything working. I get all my resources. And then I go out and, like, okay, I go to the next spot you're supposed to go to. Like, I won't take forever to finish this game, but I am enjoying the fact that I can have kind of the calmer side of the soft survival game experience, while also having knowing in my mind that there is an end goal and there is a point where I will put this down and never come back to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I was playing Ark, one of the problems with Ark is that after a while you just sort of hit a wall and it's like, there is nothing to do in this game. Oh my god, yes, you could go tame another thing. Why am I taming this? What do you do?
It's fun.
I have to
catch them all.
I have a T-Rex. It can literally kill everything in this game bar one thing. Why do I need a raptor?
Because it leads to getting a penta.
I can get a penta on my own. I just have to beat something unconscious with a stick.
Then you've got, like, a more vicious penta, which is a raptor.
Yeah, like, I one thing I did do, I got, like, 20 pentas, and I realized that those turn into a swarm of fucking piranhas.
How?
Because you have 20 of them, and they go for everything at once.
Oh, I thought you meant literally turn into a pack of piranhas, and I was like, what do you mean they literally turn into a pack of piranhas?
But, like, that's my thing, like, with a lot of open world games, like, they're too much. Oh my god, look at all this wonderful sprawling side activities that you'll never do.
Like, you could if you wanted.
Listen,
some people do.
Red Dead. I'm very happy for them, but I'm not that guy.
No, that's fair.
Like, and neither are you.
No, but you can't say, like, no. You can't say no one will do them, because
no, I'm not saying no one will do them. It's just like I won't ever.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. Like, last like open world game that I really got into was San Andreas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I never finished any of the GTAs I've played since then.
I enjoyed what's it called? Skyrim for a while, and then I got tired of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, something I like about Subnautica is just like, okay, I'm just being chill, I'm relaxing, I'm de-stressing from emotional trauma that is near, and the emotional trauma that is near that is coming in the future. And it's just chill, but it's not that kind of chill where just like, okay, now I've done everything in the game and now I'm bored. Just like, okay, the game wants me to go over here. I'll go in a bit, but I will go. Okay, wants me to go here. I'll go there soon. And at some point, the game will say, like, you don't have anywhere else to go. And I'll be like, cool. And, like, honestly, I think part of it's the fact they don't have all the online bullshit.
I mean, that definitely helps.
Yeah, that was my week, really. What about you, Andy?
All right. I watched Invincible, the Amazon cartoon show thingamabob. Have you heard of Invincible, Mikey?
Yes, it's a comic by someone, isn't it?
Robert Kirk, the guy that did The Walking Dead. Robert, whatever his name is. That guy.
Kirkman.
That's him. Yeah, done by him. They've only got 3 episodes of it up on at the moment for Amazon. I'm actually shocked in the way, like, while I was watching it, I was like, thank God this isn't a live action show, but it so easily could have been. It feels like a live action show, or one that they would have turned into one, kind of like The Boys, in a sense. That kind of feeling of like a dark kind of comic book.
Yeah.
I'm not like wowed by the story or anything, but it's entertaining enough. And like I say, I appreciate it being drawn or 2D rather than being a live action thing. It seems fine. I don't know really what else to say about it apart from it's okay. It's entertaining enough. I'm not wowed. I definitely feel like when the gore and the violence comes in, it's like screaming at you, "Hey, look at how gory and violent this is," and I'm like, "Ha ha ha, sir! I come from the 90s, anime 90s. Have you even seen the anime 90s movies?" Oh boy, that's how you get desensitized to anime violence quickly, kids. Boy howdy. You know this to be true as well, don't you, Mikey?
Oh my, yes.
Yeah, we've seen so much stuff before your time. Invincible.
Yep. We're from the days, kids, where Sci-Fi Channel was on Saturday nights and no one knew what you were watching.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And they didn't know what they were putting on the channel. I don't think.
Nope.
Half the time.
Not a clue. Not a clue, because Evangelion aired at midday.
Yeah.
On a Saturday.
Yeah. Well, everybody makes mistakes.
Which means I went from the Disney Club to an Evangelion.
It was a weird time.
It was.
I'd say give Invincible a try if you like. But currently I'm not wowed by it. It's on a break until somewhere in August, and I think by the end of August, all the episodes for whatever you want to call season 1 will be out. Will season 1 be an actual season, or will it be a Netflix season? I couldn't tell you. And just to clarify, if you don't know what I mean by a Netflix season, it's where you can tell that the company decided to deliberately split a season in half and hold on to the other half for another point in the year for that release. You know, we've seen it happen lots of times beforehand. I did that. What else did I get up to? I've done more painting. I got 2 warbands finished this week. I got my orcs finished. I got my Chaos Guys finished. No, that was last week. I got my Sylvaneth done today, for the most part, apart from one more, which I need to finish off painting. But I got that done. What else did I do? I think I watched something, didn't I? Pretty sure I watched something, but clearly it had no impact on my life. Never mind. I'm pretty sure I did watch something else, but again, it's gone out of my mind, so it can't have been that interesting. And then it's just been the usual week. Me and Mikey were meant to do a podcast this week, but Mikey had work to do, so we might be a little bit late on some stuff, but we'll get it out eventually. Do not worry.
Yes, don't worry. We are thinking of you.
That's right. Do we have any questions from your side, Mr. Mikey?
I have one. Why aren't you watching ReZero yet?
I started watching ReZero today. Oh! I finished Jobless Incarnation.
Oh, cool. I still have to catch up, but...
That was good. It's still, like, this, in quotation, season feels very much like a prelude. and it feels like the ball's just going rolling, but it's still good. It's still in like I sit down, I'll watch it. I'm like, I'm not shocked by anything, but I watch it and I've had a good time, and I think it's very nice, and I'm always happy to see it back. I watched the first episode of this season, or this second half of ReZero Season 2, Part 2, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, Subaru was like, hey, Roswell, I want to have a fucking bet with you. And he was like, what? Okay, bruh. So it was like you say, it's not an easy lead into the season. As it does expect you to remember everything that's happened prior. And I was like, what? Oh yeah, I remember the little clone elf girl people. What's going on with Garfield the cat? I can't remember. So yeah, we're picking up from there. Puck's gone away. And what's her name's getting the memories back or something. I like the fact that she's like, oh, me mum lied to me, Puck lied to me, Subaru lied to me. I like the idea that, because he was meant to stay with her all night, like holding a hand, I like the idea that the reason why he wasn't there was he went for a piss. And she just freaked out. He was like, do you want me to piss in the room, like? You want me to just, like, hold your hand while taking a leak with the other? Come on, love. Get out of here. But no, hey, ReZero. I was like, okay, good. I'm glad I'll be getting back into this at some point. And I'm up to date on The Spider Show. Which is episode 12.
That's going on for 2 cores, I believe.
Oh, it's going to get a full 24 or something, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so it's going to keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there'd be a break. Oh, that's nice.
Because I know Jobless Reincarnation has a core off, so it's coming back in summer sometime.
Yeah, but the only reason why I know that for sure is because on episode 11, which is a stupid episode to leave off on.
Yeah,
stupid for an anime season. The person who done the subbing for it just put in brackets "end" in capitals. So I went, "Oh no, this is the last episode for this season." No, yeah. Spider Show continues to be okay. I'm still more interested in the fun times of the main character than I actually am of the ongoing story, which still just seems to be we're getting there. We're getting there. There's a time skip. Don't worry, we'll be doing stuff soon. Now the spider has got out of the cave, which took 12 episodes to do. So it took a while for it to get out of, I guess, what you consider is maybe the training arc. I guess. I'm not sure. But no, that's enjoyable enough as well. Sorry, Mikey, you were going to say something about was that you asking me why I hadn't watched ReZero yet?
Yes, that was just me.
Oh,
but yes, we do have a question.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
No. So this has come in from Andreas again. Hello, Moonbase 2. After the announcement of Commander Class Ranma's Prime, I was perplexed how Hasbro came to the conclusion that this should be an $80 toy, especially since it seems inconsistent with the Commander line.
Same.
Now, that got me thinking. The War for Cybertron trilogy is arguably one of the best Transformers line we've ever gotten in, maybe, ever. I think it's I think it's a better line than we've had in a long time. I think it all comes down to your personal taste as to
really all of it, even Siege.
I said it comes down to your personal taste.
Not Siege. War for Cybertron. Yeah,
no,
that was Siege.
You were right. Yeah. I mean, I don't love. I have issues in general beyond Kingdom, which I just wish was the whole thing. But but like I know for like it has been very well received. So like thumbs up there.
Yeah,
like
true.
It was a very good business decision. They are well made, have fun engineering, and look stunning. But all good things come to an end, and at first I thought that after the trilogy was done, the toys will get hollower, simpler, smaller, much like Fall of Cybertron in 2012.
God, please, let's not go back to that.
Unique time, unique problems.
Bad. Yeah, that was an oil crisis issue,
remember oil?
Yeah. Ooh, boy.
But what if Hasbro decided to keep the quality at the same level and just raise the price of the base toy and stuff the box full of unnecessary accessories? Especially since they have a third-party market as a litmus test, which I have long argued is what they've been doing since at least Combiner Wars. A litmus test of how much collectors are willing to pay for Transformers toys. Hasbro management taking perceived value into account when deciding a price structure. The gist of it is that G.I. Joe toys will now come with less accessories to match the perceived value of Star Wars Black Series, a Marvel Legends where a good chunk of the MRSP goes to the license holder. I do believe that's a thing.
Yeah, that is the thing. I remember hearing about this from other YouTube channels, and the fact that the G.I. Joe figures could have had much more accessories, but they didn't because they didn't want to undersell or make the Star Wars stuff look bad is really fucking depressing, because it just means that, hey, you should have been getting more for your money for those G.I. Joe figures, which is a shame because the G.I. Joe figures are really good. And to know that technically we should have been getting more is a bit annoying, shall we say. Yeah.
Do you think this is a likely scenario? So, Andy, do you think it's plausible or possible that going forward we'll keep the same toy, the toys will not drop in quality, but the prices will go up either in the same way as G.I. Joe, where just prices kind of go up in comparison to something else, or they'll just stuff in a ton of accessories and use that to justify the price? Or do you think it might go into a more traditional, here's a Transformers toy at this price line kind of thing?
Well, there was definitely a suggestion in there as well about the height of some of the Transformers will be scaled down as well in the question, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely feel that we're kind of seeing that, at least with the Commander class Rodimus Prime. Do I think they'll put in more accessories? I think they'll put in more accessories for the, in quotations, big ones, like the Commander classes, maybe the Leader classes. For the Voyagers below, no. I don't think they'll get more accessories. Do I think they'll become more expensive? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know how the toy market in general is doing for the West, but I have to believe it's definitely, well, not definitely, but I have a feeling it's on the decline. It's not like the Japanese collector market where everybody buys shit because everyone in Japan's a nerd, but not really. You know, those things aren't going away. Kids seem to be into that stuff, and adult nerds seem to be buying that crap as well. Do I think it's as good here in the West? I don't think so, but I don't know because I'm not a child and I don't have kids, so I don't know what kids want or buy. What about you, Mikey?
I think that I think the price range going up is they got away with it a few years ago and realized that they can do that. And the G.I. Joe thing, I think, is a perfect example of basically I have heard people, especially since this stuff with Rodimus and something, I've had people say I think Hasbro will always try to give you value for money. Clearly not, because they're literally not doing it with G.I. Joe because they're afraid. A business. Yeah, they are after making money, and they make more money by making Star Wars look good than they do them making G.I. Joe as good as it can be.
Yeah, and technically, I suppose they save money as well by putting less into the G.I. Joe packages as well.
So if they can make more money off of the quality of figures by adding I don't think that the accessories they've added to the Leader price point since Earthrise certainly have been have filled out the price of the box, and I think it's a case where they've added accessories that have made the toy more expensive, sure, but they are making a profit off of more than just you're paying for the toy plus 15%. I think Rodimus is fucking screaming that, and I've seen some people say they've noticed he looks a bit hollow in places as well. Which
the Rodimus?
Okay. I haven't looked in enough detail to confirm or deny. I'm just quoting people, but if that's true for a figure for that price, oh my god, you got that toy is just. I'm very happy for people who have the money to throw that away and not worry too much about and not throw it away because it's a bad toy. Just throw $80 or €80 or 80 quid down and say listen, if I love it, that's great. If I hate it, it's only 80 quid. That's fine. I don't have that freedom at the moment.
No. And even if I did, I'm such a penny pincher that I'd still feel fucking bad about doing that.
So I think I hope we keep the same engineering quality, because I think that is something that has really gone good. I'm also very curious to see, because this is the last John Warden line. Whatever comes next, Kingdom is the last thing John Warden worked on. Whatever comes next, which is rumored to be more of a generation style or a universe classic style of lots of character variants.
That could be interesting.
Depends on the characters, I suppose. Like if we
That's the issue,
if we get hey G1 Optimus and G1 Cheetor,
oh god,
we just did Cheetor. But like I want to see. What I want to see is like what is the next vision going to be? Because John,
I
Warden,
think that's interesting.
John Warden was someone with a very looking back with the rose-tinted glasses vision. He was very nostalgia focused.
Yes.
Whereas, like, Aaron Archer, say, was all about crazy engineering and wild designs.
Yep.
And toy gimmicks. He was big into his toy gimmicks. The Classics line, I don't know the designer for that, I'm afraid, but it might have been Archer as well. The Classics line was about...
was Archer.
Yeah, the Classics line was playing into that, like, at least the wild design side of things.
Yeah.
And then you get to Prime and everything else, and different... And that's when you start to see, like, okay, money is hurting. Like, this is when the real world hurt your toys. But I tried to defend that Grimlock from Fall of Cybertron for at least a year.
Oh, we've all made mistakes in our life, Mikey. Don't worry.
He's a bad toy. I'm very fond of him, but he's a bad toy.
Yeah.
I handled him recently, actually, and just like, oh, this is actually worse than I remember. Oh. Especially since I've got the Planet X1 as well. I'm just like, oh god, it's you versus the guy she says never to worry about. So yeah, I think it's very possible that we are going to see like either more accessories or less accessories and just a price hike.
Yeah.
But I think like it will very much depend on like what is the next vision. That is what I'm fascinated by. What is the next creative vision behind Transformers, and what do they want to hit?
I wonder who it will be and like what previous experience they'll have. Not with Transformers. I don't expect them to have previous experience with Transformers. Just like, are they moving over from like Play-Doh? Because didn't John like who was it that went from? Was it Aaron Archer that went from Transformers to the Dough?
I think so.
Yeah.
Weird. I mean, Warden going from Transformers to Power Rangers is actually kind of unusual, and like he's kind of staying in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Because I actually heard an interview with the guy he was replacing once for Power Rangers.
All right.
And he was very interesting. He was a really interesting guy. And he'd done so many different types of toys. Boy toy, girl toys, nondescript, everything. And like, in that industry, you go to fill the job. It's not necessarily about the product.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see what the next generation of Transformers will look like in a new set of hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also have a bonus question.
Oh my god.
Why are all the characters I want to get Commander class released from the Japanese-only Transformers media? Because you have fucking taste, Andreas. Like, what Commander class Deathsaurus? You know what? I'll take your Voyager scale Deathsaurus if it means I get a fucking Deathsaurus.
You know what the problem is? We have interest in obscure characters. You shouldn't have taste in obscure characters. You should have interest in Optimus Prime, because you'll never be disappointed because you'll always get a new one.
Never forgive you people, and I do mean you people, for voting Optimus Primal.
Oh yeah,
Deathsaurus was number 2.
Yeah,
we nearly had him, but you all want nostalgia.
That's true.
All I needed was a bit of dissent among the ranks. I'd have gotten a leader class Deathsaurus with a gimmick I'd enjoy. It wasn't great in Rodimus. It wasn't a great gimmick in Rodimus. It worked fine in Optimus, in my opinion, but it wasn't a great gimmick in Rodimus. But I could have had that with Deathsaurus.
What was the Primal for?
Power of the Primes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was all right.
It was an alright figure. I didn't really mind the figure.
No, and it wasn't Optimus Primal. It was Optimal Optimus, technically. Yeah. So it was a bit of a lie on that part.
It's one of those things where I'm mad because of how close I got to something wild, not the fact that what we got was bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I had no problem with the main figure. I know some people seemed way more disappointed in it than I thought they should be, because they seemed to think we were getting a fully transforming gorilla that also fused into a Optimal Optimus gorilla. And then
do you ever wonder, like, with those polls that they do, that they've already made the thing and they're just giving the illusion of choice?
I would have said that except Victorion happened, and I don't think anyone could have predicted that Victorion happening the way she did.
That's fair, yeah.
But, like, Deathsaurus was number 2.
Yeah.
Then again, like, we followed this up by getting Impactor and a friend.
Yeah.
The Impactor Mirage 2-pack. That didn't happen.
That was so important. Oh my god.
We could have gotten Trax and Needlenose. Or we could have gotten Spinister and someone else. Or someone who's not just 2 G1 characters that everyone knows.
Oh, and they probably would have again not been sold as a 2-pack, so technically we would have been able to just get Needle Nose.
Yeah, you could have just bought Needle Nose on a
Yeah.
shelf like a human being.
No.
But that's why. That's why you can't have nice things, Andreas, because God is evil and hates me, and therefore everything I love. And it just happens we seem to like the same stuff. And why will Hasbro never do them, even if they would be a perfect fit? Star Saber, Overlord, God Jinrai. And this is the one that gets me. Star Saber, Overlord, God Jinrai. They'd be great for Commander class, yeah? Great
Yes.
ideas.
Yes.
Buster and Hydra.
Oh, that'd be fun.
As two big Voyagers with extra engineering for combining jet mode at least. It's not doing like throw it at a combined robot. I don't mind, but oh man,
I don't think they'd package them as a 2-pack. To be honest, I think they'd make more money probably selling them separately. But I appreciate the idea behind that.
You could also redo easy repaint as well. Dreadwing,
No,
Darkwing.
It's the Japanese colours or those colours. I suppose maybe not repaint. Well, you could repaint them, of course, but you'd probably do the Japanese versions as the Generation Select version, surely, just because it's a bit more. They're practically the same, but it's a bit more for the collector taste rather than the normal market.
You just have to say like one of these Power Masters has a snazzy suit on underneath it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, both of them are psychosexual. Absolutely psychosexual. Anyway, Andrea, thank you for the questions and deep thinking stuffs. G.I. Joe fans, I am so sorry. Not you, Andy. You got Pimp Daddy Destro. You have no complaints.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
Pimp Daddy Destro is not my favorite dude.
No, but it's Pimp Daddy Destro. Even people who don't like G.I. Joe want Pimp Daddy Destro.
Why
I want Pimp Daddy Destro.
You can still buy him. He's not a hard figure to come by.
I know, but I don't have him.
Then buy him.
Stop putting roadblocks in my way!
How? No. What?
Why do you have to be like this?
Oh my god. This is insane. It's like I'm at work. These are the conversations I have at work.
You basically are. We have been doing this for 12 years.
I know. Every day for 12 years. This is something you could fix. But you're not doing this. Kill me, please. I want to die.
Me. Let me go. No, the TFW has put up a news story. We need comments. No, I want to die.
Mikey, let me take us onto the Tentomon 4 message. We get, turning, in quotations, normal Megatron and Optimus Prime into Beast Wars characters is lame as hell. This is a theory that we had, which may or may not happen, and I hope doesn't happen because it would be lame if it did.
Very lame. Very lame.
Caused me to Alt F4 from a Transformers Cybertron / Archie Sonic crossover fanfic back in the day. Oh, sorry, yeah, right. Even then, that's a weird crossover. That's a weird crossover. I wouldn't pair those things together.
No.
No.
No, never in my life.
No, they're very different. Very different. So making it canon thing would be the worst. Agreed, but we don't know. It hopefully won't be the case. It was just a stupid theory we were throwing out there. Well, I think I threw it out there, didn't I? I think you were the more sane one who thought, no, they wouldn't do that. I was like, I have no faith. I have no hope.
It's one of those things that I desperately want to not be the cynic about.
But you know for a fact that you look at the writing staff and what they've written and the Transformers stuff that they've written and what we've previously seen from their stuff and you go, they could do it. They could do it. I've got no faith. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
They might be lovely people, but I question their writing performance for a Transformers show. Not that I could do any better, but I would definitely find someone better to replace me. That's how I would.
I would realize my weakness and
if someone would give me the job, I'd be like, someone's better at this than me. I'll give it to somebody else. No, come on.
I really hope no one from Earthrise is listening to this.
I know.
If on the off chance you're working on a Netflix Transformers show and everything else, Andy is a mean person, and I love your work and think it's the best series we've had in the last 4 months.
I'm dead inside.
Literally, I killed him.
It's true.
I got Rushia to necromance him.
The next bit of the comment is, but how bad would it be if in quotations G1 Megatron just insta kills in quotations Beast Wars Megatron and started using his corpse as armor and stuff? Oh no, he jet fires him from the movie.
That
that would be even stranger. That would be even stranger to have the Beast Wars character get murdered by the G1 character.
That I could believe more, though. I have a horrible feeling they're going to redshirt a bunch of Kingdom characters.
I could see them doing. I would agree. I could see them redshirting characters, or at least having like, at the very least, maybe having clones, like Dinobot clones, or I don't know, Air Razor clones or something to shoot. It's like
Dinobot clones, and it just turns out like, yeah. Years ago, there was this guy called Dinobot who died heroically, but now with these, every version of the character you see is just a clone.
Yeah, because Megatron
a non-transforming
used
clone.
Yeah,
a non-transforming raptor clone.
Well, they're gonna have to have like. Well, they don't have to, but it's likely that they'll make replicas of models because that's what they did for the other series. There were so many side swipes. There were impactors. There were reflectors all over the shop.
Can't do that with Beast Wars.
Well, they did it with the other stuff. So.
It's immoral.
Morality was never a part of this. That's what I say as I pull the trigger and kick your body off the cliff.
And as I fall, there's a small white-colored Optimus Prime generic falling next to me.
It's gonna happen.
Truck, not monkey.
Monkey, not truck. Insta-kills Beast Wars Megatron's like versus G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe Megatron did with Grimlock. I don't remember that. Oh, was that the bad one that we didn't like? Probably.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, that was the one that was not Jack Kirby-esque.
Okay.
No, it
wasn't.
Yeah,
the one that we didn't like. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't know that.
No. I get it. Yeah, get it. It was weird, and people like weird, but I like weird, and that just wasn't very good.
There you go. That's again less of a statement, and it's kind of re-going over what we did, and maybe making our fears hopefully not come true. We do have a message from Simon Tang as well. He goes, "Hi, Andy and Mikey. You often spoke of how expensive toys are in the UK and Ireland. Does this apply to other toy brands as well? Do you know of any reason why toys are so expensive in your neck of the woods?" I will also say, just as a requisite, it may be bad here and in an island, but we're not the worst off. As far as I know, Australia is the one that gets fucked the hardest.
Yes, Australia, we get kicked in the nuts, but they only do it the once.
Oh, see, I was going to say, we get the lube. Australia doesn't get the lube. No lube for Australia. Oh, yeah. From
what I understand, what they do is essentially, partly because of shipping expenses, partly because it is just way more expensive to buy stuff over here. They basically just take the dollar price and change the symbol in front of it.
Yeah.
And so basically, except in Ireland, they used to do that, and now they're doing that and adding €5 on top of that. So,
yay!
Kingdom Megatron is not cheap in Ireland.
No.
So it's an awkward thing. Yeah, part of it's customs, part of it's import prices, part of it is just money laundering. And yes, it does apply across the board as far as I'm aware. I've heard about it in another toy. I've heard about it in Ben 10, for Christ's sake. Any difference in England, Andy?
Not that I know of. I don't really look at a huge swath of toy lines, but I imagine it's all pretty standard and board. I will say it does happen the opposite way for America. Hang on. Sorry, the question continues. Are there any items that are cheaper over where you are than in North America? Not necessarily toys. I guess certain foods and wine and he puts down cheese as well. Our fancy cheeses. I live in Canada and our prices are slightly... Yeah, exactly. Our prices are slightly higher, even taken into account the exchange rate. But overall, we can get most official items here behind the official launch date. In Canada, toys are not subject to customs, only normal sales taxes. I try to avoid private couriers like FedEx and UPS, etc., etc. as they will charge admin fees to clear customs. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know.
It's actually, I'm not sure how that translates back. Like, I know, like Walkers is cheaper. I think it is.
Okay.
But they call it Lays over there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Lays. That's a bad name for Walkers. While Mikey looks at that, I will say that from here to America, GW stuff, Games Workshop stuff's better priced here because obviously in America and other places in the world you have to import that stuff, while here it's just, here's the stuff. So I think generally just stock distribution, and I think the prices are higher in America, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm not even sure how many Games Workshop stores there are over there, but it might be more expensive. I know it's certainly easier to get Games Workshop stuff over here, just because this is, where it all be and how it do. Did you find your prices, Mikey?
No, it's just kind of vague. It does seem that they cost more, but part of that because they tend to come in bigger bags as well. Oh,
that's annoying, because I'd like the bigger bags too. Because it always feels like when you get a packet of crisps here, half the packet's always full, which I'm sure is also a thing to keep the crisps fresh, I guess. But I'm sure the packets used to be bigger as a kid. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't remember. Well, I mean, they literally looked bigger.
I mean, yeah, they were literally bigger because we were childish then, but I don't know. Odd. I think that's it, unless you've got anything else you want to cover for this little question, Mikey, because unfortunately I don't know enough about economics to go too full in depth on this.
No. I it is outside my wheelhouse, beyond my general nerd interests.
Yeah, I would agree. It's still an interesting question, though.
Yeah, I know, like, if you bought a Figma in Ireland that had been brought into Ireland, it would usually be cheaper back in day. Back in day when you could go outside and talk to friends, it would be cheaper to just buy it from Japan and import it over.
Yeah.
Nowadays, actually, it's cheaper to buy it here because of the shipping changes and the postage and the fact the Suez Canal has said, fuck you. A boat has blocked the Suez Canal and now shipping is dying.
I heard about that.
But yeah, so I can tell you that general nerd stuff used to be cheaper just to import it, and a lot of local nerd shops and online stores are doing a lot better these days because of it.
Shocking that they can get anything in stock, though. That's a weird thing. Well, that's if they have anything in stock, because let's be fair, again, Gundam kits, there's nothing in stock. I've checked your Hobby Front store out.
They got a restock yesterday, actually. They got a lot in.
That's typically when I didn't check. Like, I've been checking most of the week, and it's, you got nothing. God damn it. Now I should check today to see if they actually have anything. Right. Well, Mr. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
They got... What was it? They got in... Also, we just lagged like nuts.
I know.
Yep. I was going to say I saw they got one of the Iron-Blooded Orphans kits in, but I don't know which ones.
Useless.
Begins with a V.
The VDAR?
Well, maybe it's go to their new arrival section and go through it. They've got like 120 new things in. Anyway. Anywho, if you want to send me a message, it's the moonbase2@gmail.com, or you can tweet me on the Moonbase2, or if you want to send me something, it's the Irish Paleo on Twitter. And yeah, you send us a message on any of our usual outlets, guys. We love to hear from you. Andy, what about you?
Yes. You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn. I did say YouTube, but we're under Moonbase2 Transformers Podcast there. You can also find us on patreon.com/Moonbase2, where we will do the extended version from the Files of Teletron 2 and the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things in more detail. And you can also go to the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to get us that way as well. So, thank you guys very much for coming on by and hanging out with us and listening to our poopcast as we poop away like madmen. Yes. And until next week, everybody, we will catch you guys next time on the Flibbity Flop.
Bye-bye. What?
You are now leaving